strong and sweet. I want to look at that time when the apostasy turns over to a time of slow revival. There was a reason for that. The Ammonites were taking over the north and the Philistines were down in the south. The Philistines decided to push in and really make their presence known even more, and they pushed up those valleys, and so Israel came out to war and lost. So they went and got the Ark of God, brought it out as a good luck item, and they not only lost, but they lost the Ark as well. This is all talked about in 1 Samuel 4, and we will actually deal with it later. This shakes the people up. Not only did they lose the Ark of God, but Eli dies. They had taken all of this for granted. They had taken God for granted. Now the Ark is gone. Eli's dead. But 7 months later, the Ark comes back. The Philistines send it back. When they send it back, they go up the very same valley that Samson is in, and they park it. And the Israelites gather around, and 70 of the men decide, this is our opportunity. It's no longer in the tabernacle. We can take the lid off and look inside. They did. They took the lid off, they looked inside, and God struck all 70 dead. The Scripture makes it plain. This was the beginning of the people turning back to God. See the Ark of God gone, having God strike those people dead. They realize this is a God that is a powerful God and that we need to serve. Well, shortly after this, Samson comes to age. This is when he's looking down that valley towards the Philistines. Now, the Philistines, a little bit of history. These are actually not Canaanites. These were actually European. They came from the area of Greece and Crete. They were known as the Sea People. They decided to go down and attack Egypt, went to war with them, and lost. Egypt kept them captive for a while and finally placed them up in this plain area north of them as, well, there was two reasons. One, it would be a buffer. If anyone from the north would come down to attack Egypt, they would have to come to the Philistines first, and they were a warlike people. So they kept them armed with the most modern equipment. They also wanted the Philistines to give the local people fits, which of course they did. Well, as you have Samson coming to age and everything's at peace again, and he's looking down this valley and he sees the Philistines down there. They've got the agriculture, they've got the culture. He's up in the northern part of this valley. It's considered backward. They didn't have the weapons, they didn't have the land. It seemed like the Philistines had everything. And there was a town down there, a town called Timnah, which was right in the middle of the valley. It was a place where the Danaanites could go. It was an agricultural area, but it was also a place of culture. They could go down there for trade. They could get various tools that they needed, and the blacksmiths were there. And it was during these visits that Samson's looking around, and he says, this doesn't look half bad. He sees a young woman and decides to marry her. Now, he may have been infatuated with that woman, but I personally believe he wanted to integrate into the Philistine society. He was tired of being in the backwoods, up at the top of the ridge. He wanted to be down here where the action was taken. We see several things that would show us that. First of all, the wedding took place in the bride's father's house. Now, it's supposed to be in the groom's father's house. She was to come into the man's family, not the man go into the wife's family, but it's held in the bride's family's home. And Samson's best man was a Philistine, not from the tribe of Dan. He was ready to integrate into their society. I call this missed opportunity. Now, God had all this planned. He knew what would happen. But think of the Philistines looking back on this time. They had him. He was ready to become a Philistine. With all the battle and the war that they had with this man, they missed an opportunity. Because of their prejudice, because of their distrust of the two people groups, they offended him, made war with him, mocked him, stole his bride. I mean, they did everything. And he reacted. He basically went to war with them. It all comes back right here. It was a time of missed opportunity. And that time of war, well, that's in the next story. So come back when we give you more insights on Samson stories.